Manchester United 3, Reading 1 as we wrap up here at Old Trafford as Manchester United go through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. I got to start off by saying I was surprised that Ten Hag went so strong with the team. But having said that, it's very refreshing. It means that he does not want to mess around. It means that he is here for trophies. On the flip side, it also means that maybe he doesn't trust us to be making too many changes to this squad, because we've seen even with the first 11, the performances can be up here sometimes, then they can be down there, then it can be in the middle, and they can quite fluctuate throughout the games. But I'm going to take it as actually it's business first, and then I can bring through other players. We was literally saying on the way up here that I thought that he'd make quite a few changes. Maybe not as much as sort of 5, 6, 7 changes, but I thought he'd make more than he did today, but it wasn't to be. He went with the strongest team, and as soon as we had control of the result, or control of the game, he then made changes. So that was good. The overall performance, I'm going to be honest, I thought was actually not our best. I thought that we kind of struggled to make consistent chances against the Reading side who played with a 5-3-2, especially when they didn't have the ball. You had the likes of Junior Hoylett, who was, when they had the ball, as a 4-4-2. He was coming right back as a wing back to create a 5, and so was the other left winger when they didn't have the ball, and that was for large parts they didn't have the ball. So they played in a 5-3-2. Obviously the big lump Andy Carroll up front trying to just be a nuisance, and they tried to make it difficult for us. We started strongly in terms of having the ball. I thought we rotated the ball quite well, but we were just struggling to kind of make chances. It was quite passive. It was all in front of Reading. All they was able to do was keep shifting across, keep shifting aside, and making it very compact in the middle of the pitch as well, and the space was out wide. But I felt we still dealt with it well, but we just wasn't creating chances well enough. I thought Marcus Rashford was a good outlet. His confidence is just continuing to grow. He was sitting players down, chopping and changing, and was unlucky not to get his goal. He was unlucky to get his goal ruled out as well for a marginal offside, which I thought was harsh, but hey ho, that's how it goes. But his confidence was still there, which is good to see. And actually, just before the end of the first half, Malacia tries to bring the ball down in the penalty area, thinks he has way more time than he does, and David Gea gets called into action. That's the only thing he had to do the whole half. So I don't think Ten Hag would have been pleased with that half. He would have called for more urgency. He would have called for more tempo, more bite in the performance, and to just do things quicker, which has been a common theme for this Manchester United side. Albeit it wasn't a shocking first half display. Like I said, we were in control. But when you look at it on the balance of play, when you take out the Rashford disallowed goal, Reading created the better chance. Rashford had a free kick as well. Weghorst was on the stretch. So it just wasn't the best half, the best first half we could have had. Second half, did we do anything differently? No, I think Casemiro just kind of just sprinkled a little bit of stardust on top of the performance, really. Anthony, to be fair, he's taken a lot of criticism, and I can see why, us as fans want him to do more, because we can see he has ability. We can see he can take on players. We can see he's got quick feet, and we can see that he's an aggressive type of player. But we want him to be more direct. We want him to take players on. And I think in the first half he did that quite a bit. But, he had a lot of shots that just didn't quite make the target, either going wide or going over. And other times he was taking on his fullback and getting us up the pitch and doing well. But then he provides a good bit of quality for Casemiro. Good run from him. Takes the initiative upon himself, and that's what I mean about this game. It was like it needed a little bit of something. It needed a little bit of magic. You always felt like if we got the first goal, that would kind of open up the floodgates for more, and that's basically what happened. Casemiro makes a great one forward, and it's good from Anthony. Cuts inside, finds him, lovely weight of pass, and a lovely dinked finish. And I don't think anyone expected Casemiro to score the second goal that he did in such quick succession, especially the type of goal it was. I actually questioned the goalkeeper when I first saw it from where I was. I don't know, it didn't look like an actual power driver of a shot that was unstoppable. When I saw the replay though, actually now I've seen it, what a goal that is, by the way. He literally stole the show. Unbelievable from Casemiro. And just when the game, just like I said, needed that, he turns up. It was like he went, right, I'm a bit bored now. I'm just going to show off a little bit of class, a little bit of Casemiro quality, and then I'm going to get off once the game's won. And that's basically what happened. And I think then the red card happens, and then it was easy for us to get the third. I thought Bruno actually was kind of wasteful today for large parts. I don't think he was great on the ball, but he does what Bruno does, and that's impact the game. Just before he gets taken off, gets his assist. He passed the ball to Fred, and Fred laid it off to Casemiro. So he has goal involvements, Bruno, and that's that's actually a positive. The fact that, okay, fine, he might give away the ball, he might have quite a few shots that kind of went wide today over the bar. I mean, he's frustrated with himself, to be fair to him. I don't think he would have known he didn't have the best game, but another assist, good little ball for Fred. And Fred came on and had a good impact on the game as well. He got an assist as well. So, look, Ten Hag is getting the job done. He's keeping, especially here at Old Trafford, I don't think we've lost here since we played Brighton on the first day of the season. We're playing extremely well here, and a draw against Newcastle where we felt quite deflated. Marcus Rashford in that game had a chance right at the end to score, and we didn't. Other than that, it's been all wins here at Old Trafford, I believe. I don't remember dropping any more points or anything like that here. So at the end of the day, we're going in the right direction. We're through to the next round of another cup, and actually, in hindsight, I can see why he's gone strong. It would have been easy to rest players for this type of game and upset the rhythm. And I think what Ten Hag wants to do is keep these players in the moment, especially players like Marcus Rashford. I think the reason why he started is because he's hot. He's hot, he's on form, he's on fire, he's doing his thing. And that's what you want to see from Marcus Rashford. You want to see him in the element. Sometimes when you take a player out and you rest them for back-to-back games or you stop relying on them, it can maybe upset the balance, upset their routine, their rhythm that they're in, the match rhythm, fighting fit, fighting sharp, taking on players, doing really well with the ball at his feet. And look, even though the goal got disallowed, kind of still scored. Do you know what I mean? Wan-Bissaka, I thought he was another good performer today. Strong in the tackle, really composed on the ball. Didn't have a lot in terms of a fullback taking him on. Or a winger taking him on, but I think everything he did do was quite classy. I think Maguire and Lindelof, actually, once they worked out what their game plan was going to be from Reading, I think they marshalled Andy Carroll pretty well, to be honest with you. I think the key is we've had someone like Andy Carroll, which, fantastic, he got sent off as well, by the way, awful from him. The key is with Andy Carroll is not to try and fight him. You're not going to win the ball in the air every time against Andy Carroll, but you don't need to. Make sure that he flicks it onto nobody. Make sure that you wrap round, and if he does beat Lindelof in the air, or if he does beat Maguire in the air, make sure that somebody's there to pick up the scraps. If he is going to bring the ball down, let him bring it down. Let him bring it down. You don't have to fight him. You don't have to win the ball off him every time. What's he going to do? He's not going to get on a half turn and take on 2 or 3 players and create problems. So I think once the 2 centre-halves in Lindelof and Maguire worked that out, Andy Carroll and the only outlet that Reading had became null and void. They worked that out really well. Malacia, I still feel like he's really young and really raw, so there's so much more to come from. He's going to develop, makes a few mistakes here and there. Like I said, was very lucky to get away with one just before half-time. Our hard work was nearly undone by a mistake he made, and David Hare was called into action. I think, actually, to be fair, apart from Marcus Rashford getting the goal taken away from him, it was actually Reading who made the best chance of that first half, like I mentioned earlier. But on Malacia, I think there's just little areas of his game, little bits of naivety that kind of prop into his game. But that's because he's young. There's so much to come from him. But what I like is that he doesn't shy away from anything. He always wants the ball. He's got a good set of lungs on him. He always wants to go up and down, and he always wants to make things happen. And the substitutions that came on, look, I think they did well. I think Garnacho, again, getting into great positions, just couldn't get the finishing touch. And actually, it's a reminder to us as fans why Erik Ten Hag's being so patient with Garnacho. I know Cristiano Ronaldo has left the club, and we've literally given that song straight to Garnacho, but we still need to be patient with him. We still need to understand that there's a process of getting him up to the level that we want, and that end product is what we want to see more of. But what's refreshing from him is that he's so direct, and he's always getting at defenders, and Ten Hag is doing that spot on with him as well. So, yeah, my man of the match, it isn't Anthony. I don't know how he got it. But you know what? Good for him. Good for him. He needs a little bit of confidence. But it should have been Casemiro. You don't get to score 2 goals like that and basically kill the result off, and you're not the man of the match. So my man of the match is Casemiro. Let me know who yours is. Smash the like in the video below. Peace. We are out of here.